listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Desperate Housewives After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Desperate Housewives After Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of Desperate Housewives on AfterBuzz TV. Our great partner, Bing.com. Of course, Bing.com is for doing. Bing is for doing. We're here doing another after show, and we're glad you came along to watch us and listen to us. And I am Derrick Shore. You see the lovely Foxy Roxy Striar right there.
Hello.
But your friend and your seatmate, Kaori Takee, is with us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Her very first show. Round of applause.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, you're going to love it. And by the way, for being your first show, I've got to say, I don't know how you lucked out and you got put with us because...
I mean, we're kind of hard to get with, you know.
We are.
People are on a wait list.
I was just going to say that. A lot of people would love to be doing this after show.
Pretty good.
And we have the best fans as well. I mean, honestly...
They're pretty good.
The Desperate Housewives fans, these aren't like wrestling fans. These are Desperate Housewives fans. And I know, I'm partial. I'm a bit biased. But thank you all for tuning in. And I know you're going to love Kaori. We've been hanging out with her tonight. We screened the show together. And it was a pretty good episode this week, right?
Mm-hmm. It was awesome, and it's good that it was because we don't have many of them left.
This is episode 20 of the 8th and final season. The series finale is only 2 weeks away. Next week is the last regular hour-long episode, and then in 2 weeks we're going to have the 2-hour season finale. So you're right. We are totally out of time.
I know, and I'm here next week with you guys, but then after that, I'm not here, so this is my second to last Desperate Housewives being in the studio ever. I'm freaking out a little.
You better savor the moment. And you know, this show tonight, to see all of these little surprises still popping up, clearly Lynette and Tom, who knows what's, they're going to figure things out, I hope, fingers crossed. How shocked were you, Kaori, when Carlos and Gabby Carlos seemed to have an epiphany toward the end of tonight's episode. What was that about?
I don't know. It seems like they might have a
breakup.
I know. It's a little depressing to think about because they beat the odds before and they got back together and they have kids, but they both want different things in life. And Gabby's, she's a little witch.
Gabby and Carlos, after 8 seasons, it's 23 episodes a season, right? So they've done 170 some odd, 181 episodes or something like that over 8 seasons. And in the last 3 episodes, their marriage falls apart.
I was going to say the common theme is not winding down, but winding up. I mean, every single storyline, I don't understand how they're going to tie all these pieces together. These aren't attaching strings right now. This is pulling the entire quilt apart.
We've said
I don't even know what to say about this.
It's pulling the quilt apart, and there are a lot of quilts on Wisteria Lane. And I swear, we've said this before, but are all these women going to end up single and more desperate at the end of the series?
I really hope not, but that could be a very big possibility. I mean, the way things are going, there's a lot of disasters happening, and it's getting worse.
The title of the show is Desperate Housewives. Wives being the part of that's not going to be anymore. I mean, Desperate House Exes, Desperate House Widow Divorcees. I mean, what the hell?
You know what?
I'm getting pissed about it over here.
I can tell. I like your energy. You should get worked up.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things that we're going to jump right in and talk about Lynette first, I think. And one of the things that we love, I mentioned our viewers, how much we love you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, that's fantastic. How about take a second to comment? Make a nice comment. Maybe give us a little thumbs up telling us that you like the show. We come in here every week, and we are happy to provide this content free of charge to our listeners and viewers. And if you can take 30 seconds to write a review either on iTunes or comment on YouTube, then we love you even more. But we love you regardless. Anyway, Lynette, I've been saying all season long,
You love her. I know you love her.
I am Lynette, and you know what?
No, you're Lynette.
Tonight, when she was in that restaurant drinking that dirty martini with those olives, oh my gosh,
You're like, that's
Lynette.
my drink. Oh my God.
That is my drink. I mean, I could not be anyone more than Lynette, and she could be no one more than me. Did that even make sense?
That being
You know what
said,
I mean.
you were not very pleased with the decisions she was making tonight.
Listen, I can't say that I was not pleased. I think that CEO is kind of a slime bag, and he clearly is. Yeah, right?
Greg.
I mean, Greg, thank you. He, new character. It's tough to keep all their names straight, but I feel like he's trying to. I can't figure out what his motives are. Does he want to get Lynette in bed?
Question.
No questions.
Yes.
No, yes, you can ask a question.
Why are we introducing new characters?
I know there's not
Why
time.
are we introducing Greg? Where is he coming from? I thought that Lynette and Tom are supposed to be getting back together. We already have this Jane woman who got introduced this season. What the hell, Greg? What are you doing on? And I don't
Lynette
even
and Tom
mind
are
you.
getting back together.
What is
They
he
will.
doing? What is he doing there?
They've got to. Okay, Kaori, settle this for us. Are they getting back together or not?
I really think they should because they're like the one couple in the whole seasons of Desperate Housewives that like really withstood love and all those difficult times.
But a week ago, Tom said to Lynette, I've moved on and I have found happiness. I'm sorry you have not. Remember that? Like a knife through the heart line.
Gut-wrenching.
Yes.
Boom.
I know, but he still feels for her. You see those in the previews. See snippets of him like trying to like take care of her. Like the last preview we saw about him saying something like, "I'm really gonna miss you." It's like, oh.
Yeah, totally. He's offered so many glimmers of hope. And I love that tonight, Penny was, when Penny's eating the
love
sandwich
it.
at the table and says,
Yes.
could I have chocolate for the rest of my meal? That there is such a really cool dynamic. I mean, Lynette is a cool mom.
I don't understand how you could say that right now, though, because Lynette plays so freaking dirty the entire time between the situation with Greg and trying to get Penny on her side with that concert thing and setting up the candle and the album. She plays dirty. And I love Lynette. I'm not saying I don't. Of course, I love Lynette. Just like I love you, but you play dirty.
I mean, but what won't you do for love, right? What won't you do for love
And
kids?
And I think we should give, I mean, not only the love side, but I think that when someone's going through divorce, I don't know, a couple months back, I shared this really great story about how my biological father, who left the family when I was 4, we'll get to that later, by the way, because I had some relatability feelings for MJ tonight in tonight's episode because I was one of those kids who didn't have the dad, and I was raised in this Mormon white middle class community where, oh my gosh, Derrick doesn't have a father.
Right.
Well, he's probably playing with Barbies, which I was, but that was for an entirely different reason. Anyway,
we'll get to all that later then.
we'll
yeah.
get to Susan. This is a very exciting episode tonight
was.
for us to talk about. So remember a few months back, I shared this story. My mom is an amazing woman. She is smart. She's together. She volunteers so much of her time. And when she was going through divorce, she went kind of nuts. And I think Lynette has held it together so well, given the circumstances. She's having a hard time with the breakup, and normally she does take the high road. Tonight's episode was about her moment of weakness where she decided to take the not so high road, and Jane has been a raging bitch to her, and she decided to play dirty, just like the night my mom on the ice rink yelled, "Whore, whore, whore," yelled out in front of hundreds of people on the ice when my father brought his mistress to sit in the stands
I love that story.
and watch us ice skate on the rink. How messed up is that, right?
Love
so
the
my
story,
mom,
though.
who's usually taken the high road, took the not so high road and yelled, "Whore, whore, whore."
I
And
don't
that's what
think-
Lynette did tonight.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the low road sometimes.
Right.
I think sometimes it has to be taken because you can't fit that many cars on the high road. Somebody's got to take the low road at some point.
But you still think,
But okay, here's what I think. I think that if you work so hard to always take the high road,
Yeah.
sometimes taking the low road can ruin everything you've worked for. And I think that Lynette is trying so hard.
you are wise beyond your years, Roxy.
Lynette is trying so hard to get Tom back that this just might be the very thing that makes her not be able to get him back. But, or it might be the thing that pushes him to going back to her. So it depends. You're taking a risk. Taking the low road, it pushes somebody one way or the other. It's either going to push Tom further away or make him realize what he's missing and need to take her back.
I think the latter is more correct. And you know what? Okay, Lynette is maybe pushing things, meddling with the CEO. They're messing with Tom's schedule. His plans with Jane are falling through. Penny admits to Lynette that Jane had a big blow up. In the beginning stages of a relationship, everything is rosy. I mean, I think back to past boyfriends. I thought they were saints, and now I look back on those relationships and I think, what the F-bombs was I thinking? Tom is able to see a side of Lynette, or to see a side of Jane that he never saw before. Remember, 3 months after they started dating, they moved in together.
Yeah,
right.
Way too crazy fast.
Too soon.
Even for TV fast, that's too fast.
None of this is going to matter because Tom's going to be in India.
He is moving to Mumbai. Okay, no,
Hope not.
I hope so.
They need a laugh.
That would be a perfect way to end this season.
you-
Tom off on a plane to go to India.
I
Okay.
would not be surprised. Tom transfers to Mumbai and we never see him again.
Mark Cherry's like, I didn't know what to do with this, so I just shipped him off.
Tom is actually one of my favorite characters. He gives me hope for good men out there. He really
Oh,
does. Yeah.
that's so sweet. Well, I
Except for
can
the fact
see
that he's with a woman like Jane, which gives me hope
that
for
part-
nothing.
I was really disappointed that he got with her so quick and also moved in together and then got Penny to like hang out. And it would just, I mean, Lynette, she's playing fair because honestly, if that happened to me, I don't know. Like my ex-husband,
I would have said yes to Greg in 2 seconds flat. I think he's cute. I think he's fun, and I don't really care that he's Tom's boss.
I mean, divorce is not even finalized or maybe far from finalized, you know? And he's sitting there.
I totally feel you. I know I'm all over the place, kind of being hypocritical and flip-flopping, but that's just how I feel
You know
about
what?
this
That
right
is
now.
that is the roller coaster of emotions that I'm sure many viewers and listeners are feeling as well. But to go back to the point that I was making, Jane may be meddling in whatever, but if it was true love with Jane and Tom, you know, if Jane is turning into this crazy woman and flying off the handle that Tom is not so available for her, remember, she moved in as quickly as possible and she made life difficult for Lynette and let Lynette know, no, Tom is mine now. His time is mine. So now that work is pulling Tom away from her, she's blowing her top. Tom needs to see that before they get married, and they're not going to get married because Tom is going to go back to Lynette. We can finally wrap up the storyline.
Please.
And if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to cry a little, a lot. I'm going to sob for days. So it's got to happen.
Well, great. Marissa, could
be
we
there
please
with you.
get some Kleenex for Roxy? Maybe not now, maybe after the show. Marissa, by the way, is...
ready.
Oh, dear. It's a good thing you're an acting major. You're going to need that. I'm totally kidding. No, sorry. That's a joke that I...
Death glare.
It's a great sound effect. By the way, if I seem a little off today, it's because yesterday morning in Santa Monica, I got on my bicycle. My boyfriend and I got on our bikes. We rode to Santa Barbara, 100 miles away. And then this morning, we got on our
For
bicycles.
shits and giggles?
No, because we're training for AIDS Life Cycle, the ride from San
Right.
Francisco to LA. Last year, we raised over $13 million to fight HIV and AIDS.
What?
Pretty crazy, right?
That's awesome.
Anyway, I know we're doing all these plugs, but if you want to learn more, visit DerrickandMatt.com. We made this great video. Speaking of entertainment, if you like Desperate Housewives, you've got to go to DerrickandMatt.com and check out this video we made. It's pretty killer.
Wait, but so you rode 100 miles there. How'd you get back?
We rode 100 miles back. I rode
that's
200 miles.
200
I took Matt and my bike off the car, bikes plural, off the car, and I took a shower and I raced to the studio to do the show with you fine ladies.
You must have outstanding legs.
Oh my gosh, and you
Can we
should
get a little
see my
calf
ass.
show? Yes.
Okay,
see it.
anyway, so that's the reason why I may seem a little loopy tonight. And I'm just so excited that like the road isn't going by me. You know, when you ride the bike that long, everything is kind of moving, you know?
So you're still feeling a little wobbly?
So I'm
or-
still feeling like, wait a minute, why is everything not whizzing past me right
It's
now?
just like trying to mess with them. Start moving.
You've got
How
some
you feeling?
guts.
How's this?
I am, I am
Thank you.
so scared of bike riding.
You know what? You
I don't know how
shouldn't
to
be.
ride.
You shouldn't be.
I
What you
can't
should
do
be
it.
On the
afraid of. You should be afraid of little MJ in that car because he would push that out in front of the bicycle as he went by.
MJ has like a little sinister side to him. I've always noticed.
You know, he does, right?
Because he's best friends with Juanita.
When did that happen?
Which we learned in tonight's episode, thanks to the dead squirrel that I wanted to see the entire episode, but
Yeah.
we never get to see him.
It was a reoccurring
Come on.
And what I love is that Susan's like, okay, well, we'll just like poke it with a stick. Don't touch the dead squirrel with your fingers.
Right?
What every mom would say. It's classic.
Well, she's like very awkward at this point.
Juanita?
No, Susan.
Oh, Susan.
Susan has a very
yes.
unique style of parenting, to say the least.
She does. And I feel for MJ. I do. I think I said this in our show a week ago that obviously MJ is going through a rough time, but I do think he's kind of a little punk. You know, he knows that he's manipulating his mom. I want ice cream for dinner. Okay. I want ice cream for breakfast. Okay. I mean, I don't know. At some point, he's got to kind of snap out of it, but
She lets him, though.
she lets him. And I
does.
think her parent, you know, whatever. I'm not a parent, so I really shouldn't say
But
this.
isn't that strange? Because her daughter is the polar opposite.
Totally true. And her daughter in last week's episode, Julie, was really the disciplinarian
Yes.
who was stepping in and like, MJ, no, you need to go to bed and you need to eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
Susan, I think, is a mess too, though. I mean,
she's a wreck.
to lose the love of your life to something, I mean, as
Yeah.
horribly as she did, that was pretty jarring. I still think they kind of messed it up with going to visit the autistic sister. What was that? Mike's sister who was in that care facility. I was so confused by that whole weird storyline.
Why they added
Yeah.
it, I don't know.
Well, they added it because they needed to.
What?
Why did they? Oh, gosh.
Pump up the excitement.
They needed to explain what was in the box, but why did they add the box? That I really still don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They just
you're
were
right.
adding a little bit of something there.
You know, that was a little odd. I swear there was a reason they added it. You know what? This show moves too fast for me. Sometimes it's tough to keep all the details. But MJ, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, when I didn't have growing up without having the father, I definitely know what it was like to feel like, oh,
The father.
not having
Not our
a
father. Having that father thing.
There was a scouting event once where it was like a father-son scouting thing, and I remember like all these neighbor men had offered, which is why when MJ was in there with all the neighbor guys, I thought that was a sweet, touching moment, like they were stepping in. But at the same time, I was thinking, you know, when I was a kid, I had neighbor fathers step in, and kids are pretty smart. I knew that they were taking pity on us, and oh, Derrick has no one to do the Pinewood Derby with him. Derrick has no one to do this and that. I didn't want the rent-a-dad, you know? There's
Yeah.
nothing that replaces a parent, and I think that when you're a kid, you can have role models and adults rally around you and support you, but bottom line is, it's not your real dad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So my heart goes out to him, and I hope that I don't know. I mean, I hope this was a turning point that we're done seeing little storylines of like jam being thrown at the wall. I hope that Susan and MJ can start to move forward in a healthy place.
You know? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's the thing, though. When he expressed to Susan, "Hey, I don't like being the weird kid," in my opinion, she kind of let him be the weird kid by, "Hey, here's 5 dads," you know?
Oh, interesting.
You know, he didn't change the dynamics. She made it kind of worse.
Susan's an enabler. Let's call her that.
She's
You know, I think that events like that, we're at a day and age where everything is very PC, and I think this is something that actually should be more PC. Instead of calling something father-daughter rollerblading or mother-son, whatever it is,
Yeah.
just say kid and guardian or
You
like
know what?
whatever. Like
That's
why
I totally
why
agree.
do that? Why make somebody, because there's always somebody who's getting hurt.
true.
Why? It's so unnecessary.
I mean, we do not all fit the mold,
Child
whatever
and
the
adult.
mold is.
And so what? Even if you do have like, I remember growing up for Girl Scouts, we always used to do father-daughter square dancing. My dad is like the anti-square dancer, to say the least about him. And I remember I never used to go to the events until I had one weird older cousin who went with me one time, and everybody was like, "What's going on?" And obviously it's a completely different situation. But I used to remember just thinking like, "Why can't I go with my mom? Why
Yeah.
can't I go
No,
with
it's true.
my uncle?
Right.
Why do I have like why do they do that? I don't ever get
totally.
it."
It's interesting how I mean it's you learn when a society is advanced and you know as much progress as we've made, there are still these traditional roles that people are expected to fit into
Right.
that make others feel like outcasts.
Because building a car is a more masculine thing to do. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just because Susan can't do it doesn't mean that women can't do that.
there are so many women
Yeah,
who
I
could
thought
do
about
it.
that.
You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, even when Lynette walked by, I was like, "Come on, Lynette, you could build that."
By
I
the
know.
way, there was a temporary time in my life when my mother married another guy who was even a bigger douchebag than my biological father. And we did do the Pinewood Derby, and he was like helping me put the car together. And when he was nailing on one of the wheels, he broke it. So it was glued together, and my car was so messed up. it like went down the slope and then it stopped before even going down the finish line. So I was the kid who was,
so sorry.
it was so sad, and I had to push it across the finish line so the little buzzer would register. Oh, it was so bad. So case in point, Roxy Striar is yet again totally correct, because a woman probably could have done a much better job on that stupid Pinewood Derby car than my douchebag stepfather.
Well, the point is, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If you know how to build the car, you're going to do a better job.
Absolutely.
True.
And by a car, I mean soapbox. So.
Do you think we're going to see, I mean, in the tease for, well, we'll get to that later, about Susan and Julie and the baby and all that, her selling the house.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Is she going to sell the house to raise the baby? Who knows?
We'll see.
Wisteria Lane is going to be a ghost town.
They need a house, you know.
They got to live, well, they could move back to that apartment.
We'll
Remember
see.
that depressing apartment?
Right.
Okay, let's talk about Bree for a minute, because it was so apparent from the beginning of tonight's episode that Bree is falling in love with her lawyer.
Well, yeah, the lawyer. I mean.
It was obvious,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like
was.
painfully obvious.
And he is falling in love back.
I know, Mr. Quantum Leap.
I don't know. I think he is. But I'm not quite sure. He seems kind of like he is just doing friendly business.
I don't think so.
I don't know. The whole scene where they were sharing their sexual history, because I mean,
Oh, yeah, that part.
He seemed, there was something very playful about that scene, and I think he has a playful nature,
That's what it is.
and maybe that's why. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's not interested in her, but I think he probably is, and I don't know. I think she's not going to be behind bars. It's not going to end with Bree in jail,
This
right?
is what
hope
I'm
not.
saying.
I'd be upset if she ended up behind bars because she's really just covering, Gabby's ass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but the other week when we were on the phone talking about this, or I was on the phone, you were in studio. No, actually, when Derrick and I are just on the phone every night talking about Desperate Housewives. No, but
We do that, actually. No, we don't.
I was on and I said, I think it's going to end up with Bree behind bars. And now I don't know if I actually think that, but Jesus Christ, that's the way it's looking. I mean, honestly, it's just, I don't understand how they're going to piece this all together in 3 more hours.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be, you know what, 3 more hours. You're right.
We have a movie length left of the show.
They've got a lot to button up. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I need to go back and rewatch all of these seasons. There are so many. If you did like a chart of all the different storylines, I mean, this series has been all over the place.
Yeah, it has.
You can buy those seasons on Amazon, by the way. Did you know this?
No, I did not. But
I think
wait,
you may.
how can I get to Amazon?
Well, I am so glad you asked that, Roxy.
Because everybody asks that.
Everybody asks about, actually, with this cycling thing, I have Amazon boxes on my front porch like every day of the week. I swear. I order so much stuff from them.
Me too.
And if you guys do too, one of the ways that you can help us out here at AfterBuzz, it doesn't cost a thing, but if you order things from Amazon, visit AfterBuzzTV.com first. You'll see an Amazon link, and you can click on that link, and then when you purchase your items, then we get a percentage of the sale. Like 95% of all of that money we get. Can you believe that? No, it's not that high. Not even close. But
we seriously, and we've only been plugging this for a couple of weeks now. I don't even think a couple of weeks, a week and a half, and we've made quite a bit of money from it. So
and we got to keep the lights on.
Trucking.
So that's where the money goes. I mean, I know you think the money goes to my hair products and all these really expensive clothing.
Or the makeup artist and the hairstylist that does our look
exactly.
before we're on.
I mean,
she did a really good job in my braid today.
No, the money does not. We are not frivolously throwing the money around. We are keeping the lights on. So please, if you buy stuff from Amazon, go for that. And as long as we're still doing plugs, if you're watching Dancing with the Stars, please vote for our amazing Maria Menounos. She's been one of my buddies for a long, long time. Of course,
she's killing it.
She's killing it.
She's doing really good.
She's a rock star. She's a rock star, and of course, she's responsible. She co-founded AfterBuzz TV, so she's responsible for what you hear. Yes, for this very thing. But the trick about voting for her, though, is you got to call when the show is on during your time zone. So for our time zone in the Pacific time zone, we've got to call 1-800-VOTE-401. 1-800-VOTE-401. 01 is their voting code. So please tune in every week and vote for her because she's killing it. I mean, and also, obviously, we're biased, but I truly believe she deserves it. She's the best contestant on the show this season.
I'm sorry, but she's freaking unbelievable, and she has 2 broken ribs and a broken toe. What the hell?
Well,
she's like a freaking superwoman.
Or she's crazy. That's part of it.
Well, that's also true, of course. We all know that.
Everyone's asking me. They're like, "Is your friend Maria okay?" I'm like, "I don't know. I hope she's home sleeping."
When I talked to Kevin. They're like, you got to do what you got to do.
They're nuts.
And Kevin looks at her and says, "You're the one who wanted to be popular."
Really? That's cute.
I'm like,
Oh my gosh. Well,
you guys are both freaking psycho.
Well, my prediction is she is going to win easily, but all of you can help by voting, so please do that. Anyway, back to Desperate Housewives.
Yes.
And why don't we take a little commercial break? Marissa, can we take a little 1-minute commercial break? And then when we come back, we'll finish talking about our women. We still have to talk about Renee and Ben. We'll talk a little more about Bree. And
A little bit about Gabby and Carlos.
oh my gosh, Gabby and Carlos. I can't believe, geez, we got to wrap it up because, oh my gosh, we got to wrap it up. So let's take a commercial.
TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Alrighty, welcome back. At the beginning of our show, we touched a little bit about, we touched on Carlos and Gabby and how their relationship, Carlos seemed to have a bit of a turning point in his mind saying, I've changed. I'm not that kind of shark anymore. And that's when the alarm bells went off that, ooh, we may see a divorce in their future. But the great news is we've got a caller on the line, Susie. She's called in before. Susie, are you there? Can you hear us? Susie, my dear. Hello.
Hi.
Hey there, what's going on? Hey, did you hear me just talk about Gabby and Carlos? We're super tight on time, but we would love to hear your thoughts about that storyline.
I just heard that you had to wrap stuff up, so I'll be quick. But
yeah, did you?
I heard you say in the beginning you forgot why they had the Mike's sister storyline.
Oh yeah.
And it was for to tell us that Julie was going to keep her baby.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes. Thank you,
Susie. There was some reason.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you.
Thank you for clearing
You're
that
welcome.
up. Oh, good, because I'm sure other fans would be so mad.
I didn't like that they did that storyline either. I didn't like it at all.
So what do you think then about Gabby and Carlos? Do you think, were you concerned about the fact that their relationship looks like it may have started unraveling to the point of complete disrepair?
I mean, I didn't feel like at the end that they were going to break up or anything or get a divorce. I didn't think it was, but I was surprised at both of their behaviors throughout the episode. Like, I was surprised that Carlos kind of betrayed Gabby in that way and took Doris away. Doris was her name in the episode as well as real life, right? And I know that's her name in real life, but I think that was her name in the episode too.
Yeah, it was.
But I was surprised that he kind of did that. And
see, I wasn't totally surprised about that because they seem to have a history of really jabbing at each other in that relationship. That seemed very much like Gabby, and it also, to me, it just seemed like Carlos, reminding Gabby. He's told Gabby how selfish she is in the past, and she said, "Well, you knew that about me. You married me. What gives?" Yeah,
exactly. Well, I more expected. I wasn't as surprised to see Gabby redo Carlos's office in order to mess up Carlos and Doris's relationship or whatever. I wasn't surprised to see Gabby do that. I was more surprised to see Carlos do what he did, seeing as he's changed and or claimed he's changed, to help people. So I was surprised that he did that, but I wasn't surprised at Gabby.
That was the most hideously decorated office, by the way.
I mean, I would be surprised if they made something happen because, especially at the way end like this, I just want to see something. I just want to see everyone end on a positive note. And I know, like Roxy and stuff. I know you've been saying that you don't know what's going to happen at the end. Like you think Bree might end up in jail. I think she might end up in jail at the end. But I feel like at the end, the last 10 minutes or whatever, they might do, like a 5 or 10 years later type thing, Could any of you see that happening?
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. And you know what, though, just sticking with the Gabby Carlos line for 1 second, I just wanted to say, I know we don't have that much time, but my major question is, she says to him at the end, the best hope you have is to be a different kind of shark. And is that true? Is that the truth about Carlos, or do we think that he can turn into a butterfly?
No, I think he can be a butterfly. I mean, I think Carlos has made up his mind that he does not want to do that anymore.
Okay.
I mean, he had something really traumatic happen to him.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Susie, I hate to cut you off. We've got to power through the end of the show because our studio time was cut super short tonight because another show went super long. So we got to say goodbye.
Yes, I could tell. But I'm sorry. I just wanted to call as usual. I can't wait for next week. And Roxanne said you won't be there for the series finale.
I know, I'm sad too, but you know what? We'll tweet and YouTube comment and everything, and we can talk back and forth that way.
Exactly. And Derrick, I just wanted to say one last quick thing. I went to derrickandmatt.com, and you guys are so cute together. I just wanted to say that before
Thank you.
said bye.
Isn't that a funny video? It's a pretty funny video, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing yet because I wanted to watch this, but I will watch that once I'm done.
Well,
but
thank
have a
you.
good night, guys.
I
Thank
totally
you so much.
appreciate it.
Good night,
Thanks,
Susie.
babe. Call in anytime.
She's the freaking best.
I know. It's so fun to involve the viewers because it's great to hear the different perspectives. I mean, the Gabby Carlos thing, I'm glad that Susie disagrees with us because I thought, I don't know, it seemed like a huge turning point to me. But
I did too.
I had a quick thought, though, when Susie was calling. Remember how this show relies on flashbacks a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then remember a couple seasons ago when they did the huge jump? When Porter, when the twins, Lynette's twins were old, everyone they skipped
and when
like
Gabby
8
got
years.
ugly for a second.
Oh, that was so boring. Well, what about this? What if there is a fast forward to the future? What if there is another jump?
That's what Susie was just saying.
That's what she was saying.
No, but like in the season finale, what if we see them? I don't know. What if Carlos?
Yeah, I think that's what Susie was saying.
Well, she was saying maybe they would come back together, but maybe they don't come back together. Maybe Gabby is a high fashion model at 50, and maybe Carlos has a very successful nonprofit.
Is the season finale a finale that's 2 hours, or is it 2 1-hour episodes?
I think it's 2 hours.
I think it's 2 full hours is how they've been billing it.
Yeah.
one 2 hour episode.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe next week is our last week seeing them at this year, and then our 2 hour finale is them in the future?
I don't know.
I mean, I kind of think that maybe it might end the way it started with one of the housewives shooting herself.
Oh, Kaori.
Sorry.
No, we already saw
so
that.
depressing.
We saw that with Bree earlier this season. If they do that, I mean, it's like we
depressing.
didn't even watch any season ever. Like,
I need a drink.
Don't they learn a lesson? I know.
Awful,
We need to wrap this up
I know.
more so that I can go to the bar and get a drink because I'm stressing out now.
Okay, let's quickly talk about predictions and get you all out of here and give our next host their studio.
Okay. So, but in predictions, we kind of need to talk about Renee really quickly.
We'll talk about Renee and Ben, but you know what?
You're AFTERBUZZ.
Renee and Ben, they can
All I have
whatever.
to say is I thought that was really sweet, and that I think it's a good law that you don't have to testify against your husband, and
Spousal immunity or
whatever that was, and that
Spousal
will work out
privilege.
well.
There are pictures on TMZ and ExtraTV.com with Renee running in a wedding dress.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Something's gonna happen at the
So
wedding.
it seems like they will get married. Yeah, Renee and Ben. I mean, clearly she feels like he's keeping secrets from her, and I think she was very valid to bring that up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that this story arc really wrapped it up in this week.
I love that he said, "I'm impossibly in love with you." That was a beautiful line. I love that
sweet.
phrase.
It was cheeseball perfect.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
really was.
Okay,
Perfect
so
way to say
Susan and MJ, they finally moved to a healthy place. Renee and Ben do get married. Bree has agreed to go to dinner with her lawyer, so I bet they kiss before they go to court. Oh gosh, please no, Bree. And Lynette and Tom, I swear they are going to get back together.
They have to.
Tom
They
is seeing
have
another
to.
side of Jane that he needs to see before they move any
But
further.
just because he doesn't want to be with Jane doesn't mean he wants to be with Lynette.
And you know what? And maybe they move on as friends. That's fine, but he cannot marry that bitch.
Oh my God, he cannot end up with Jane. More so than him ending up with Lynette, I need him to not end up with Jane.
Okay, and I love that we know we're out of time, and so we're speaking so quickly. But the big news, we didn't do news and gossip. Housewives actually ended this week, so they are not in production. Those episodes are in the can, been delivered to the network. In fact, right now, as we speak, at the W Hotel, Xbox is having a wrap party for Desperate Housewives. But the official Desperate Housewives wrap party was 2 nights ago. So if you guys want to see some great pictures, follow Eva Longoria on Twitter. You probably already do. I do. And click through her photo albums. There are some great moments. They had the wrap party on the set of Desperate Housewives at the Universal Backlot. So there are these great photos of the women sitting at Lynette's dining room table, and they're hugging, and check it out. It's the best. And there's a really great photo of Eva Longoria and her parents with a little apple cake, and she's not wearing any makeup, and I am such a huge fan.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's amazing. So anyway, sorry to speed round through the rest of this. Hopefully next week we can stay on a little better schedule. A subtle reminder to our other hosts. And I'm just teasing.
Subtle.
I'm not so nasty in real life, right? Just on TV.
I mean,
Yeah,
You've been pretty nice
Can I
my
get
first
the
time,
best?
so.
Oh,
Thank
well, Kaori,
you.
thank you. Round of applause
Oh,
for
yeah.
your very first AfterBuzz.
I couldn't
You were
have a better
great.
team to start with.
You know what?
yeah.
For sure.
You are absolutely
This is a
right
great
about that.
welcome,
We'll take the
so.
compliments.
Yes, we'll take them where we
Gracefully.
can get them. So again, thank you all for tuning in and watching. We're at AfterBuzzTV.com. Remember, if you want to shop through Amazon, click on that link. Rate us on iTunes. Comment on YouTube. Keep calling in 424-256-1729. Call during next week's show, which will be the last one for Roxy on Desperate Housewives. And we always love hearing from you. Marissa in the booth, thank you so much for all your help tonight. And I'm Derrick Shore, of course. Kaori Takee, Roxy Striar. We will see you all next week at this fabulous time. Thanks again.
Thank you.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
And it's your welcome confetti. Woo!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.